he doesn't come back from his ACL. Praying. Johnny Stones. Yes, John Stones not leaving Manchester City. Rob Dawson, ESPN, says he's not leaving. All this comes via Rob Dawson, ESPN, with a quote from John Stones that says he's not leaving. So the question to you is, do we need 6 centre-backs? Let's have a look at what's been said. Right, breaking. John Stones wants to stay at Man City. He has confirmed. Stones, I'm here. I want to stay here. I love it. I'm here to help. And I don't know what's been said or speculated, but I hope that kind of shuts it down. Definitely not leaving. So, we all thought he was going to go back to an Everton or whatever. And we were all pretty like bang on. Yeah, he ain't staying. Alas, he is staying. Am I happy? I'm neither happy nor sad. I mean, you still need that experience in the squad. And although Stones' game time isn't great, he still has that experience. He's a serial winner with Manchester City. So yeah, neither happy nor sad. I think it could be good for us. I think it could be good for the youngsters coming up, like the Vita Hayes, etc. So yeah, it could help there. So he is definitely staying. What else does he go on to say? I'm back fit, feel great and excited to get going. It's difficult when you're injured. There's been points where you think you've been giving all this effort, dedicated all your life, especially how I approach or go about my life in football. I give everything on and off the pitch to be here or to be ready and play those kind of dark days, or those other dark days. Yeah, so what he's saying is, listen, I ain't going anywhere. Don't even speculate about me going elsewhere. Everyone has dark days. These are my dark days. My injury problems are my dark days. And I get it, because like I said in an earlier video, John Stones, he could have been a Ballon d'Or winner, in my opinion. He could have been a Ballon d'Or winner. He has it in him. He's scored vital goals before now, and he's probably the most gifted player I've seen move from a defensive position to an attacking position. He's very, very good at it. Next, he says, it's frustrating. I put a lot of pressure on myself. I find it very challenging mentally. I've had some very low points, and just to have to come back once you have come over those things, you can't really see the end of the tunnel when they keep happening. It's frustrating for the team, myself, the manager, that you're not available to help, and you've got to find another way to be around the team. Yeah, well, we see that because, you expect John Stones, as soon as he starts getting into the team regularly, and you think, oh yeah, John Stones, he's on fire again. He's out injured again. Very similar to the Ake, very similar to Akanji last season. Diaz had a few injuries last season. It was terrible last season. Our back line, we had Simpson Pusey coming in, who I definitely think will be sold. I know definitely and think can't go in the same sentence, but I really, really think Simpson Pusey will be sold. So the problem is we've got all these defenders now. We've got Vita Hayes, Husanov, Diaz, Stones, Ake, Akanji, Vardiel. We've got 7 central defenders, and that's not including the academy kids. So yes, some of them can play different positions. John Stones can play right back. He is more of a defensive right back. Like I said, he moves into attack, but he's a very, very good player. As long as he can stay fit, I have no problem. Now the problem comes from who does leave, because you do need some centre backs to leave. So Akanji, possibly, and we've been around these several times. Like Akanji, possibly, Ake, possibly, Stones, possibly. Well, Stones is definitely staying now, and Pep said he wants Vita Hayes to stay. Husanov is very good, so you'd pretty much say he's staying. Vardiol is going to be our starting left-handed centre back, and Diaz is going to be our starting right-sided centre back. I want to see Husanov come in for Diaz at some point and take over that role. But the problem is we've got too many of these players, and last season Pep said, if you don't get rid of some of this squad, I'm going to leave. Now, he was joking. Obviously, he was joking. He said he was joking. I think there was some truth in that. He was saying to the club, listen, I can't be playing with this big squad. But at the same time, when you're playing 60 games a season, you need this depth. So yeah, that's the problem. Also, Pep come out and said that John Stones wasn't fit enough to start against Al Ain. That is tonight, by the way, or technically tomorrow morning, 2 a.m. Monday, 2 a.m. UK time. Excited to see what they're going to do there. Pep said 10 changes, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, just moving on from the John Stones thing. As long as he stays fit, he is a really, really good player. And yeah, we can get a good season out of him as long as he can stay fit. This is Nico González on Rodri. He's even better than I thought he would be. I try to see all the passes players don't see and take as much from him as I can. He was in America at the Super Bowl when I joined Manchester City and had a couple of weeks off. He helps me a lot. He's Spanish and we're starting to have a good relationship. He's been back a couple of months, an amazing player and really good in everything that can be good in a midfielder. I'm trying to learn the most I can, and I think I'm starting to watch him at his best level. I'm seeing things I haven't seen in a lot of midfielders. So everybody obviously speculating about Niko G not getting into the team. Like, where is he? Pep doesn't like him. This and that. We don't know, do we? We don't know. We know just as much as anybody else. We can speculate. But Niko G, obviously, if he's happy being the understudy of Rodri and coming in and playing the odd game or whatever, and Pep can see the changes that he's making in himself in his game, and he can start seeing a bit of that Rodri flair about his game. Not that last game, Rodri was a bit rusty, but as long as Pep can see, he's advancing in his career as a defensive midfielder in the way of a Rodri, then he's going to get more and more game time. And Rodri's very young. I know there's Real Madrid apparently want Rodri, but who wouldn't want Rodri? He's a Ballon d'Or defensive midfielder. Who doesn't want Rodri? You know what I mean? Anybody wants Rodri. Rodri is a class act. So yeah, as long as Niko G can learn from him, and he's not, obviously he's going to be eager to play. He is going to be eager to play, but as long as he's not, getting annoyed at the fact that he's not starting games left, right, and centre. If he understands that he needs to watch Rodri, and he can take stuff away from watching Rodri, which it sounds like he does because of what he said in that text, then that's good, because it means that we haven't got any toxic player sitting on the bench thinking, hey, I should be playing here over Rodri. He understands his position. He understands that he has to improve, and he understands that he can improve, and he understands that he can improve from Rodri. So, we've got a really good player on hands in Niko G. If anything, I'd say Niko G was a bit more attacking, but I think he's got it in him to be that Rodri type of player. And that's what we need. We need someone for the eventuality where Rodri leaves or he doesn't come back from his ACL. Praying. We need someone like that. So, yeah, that's all I've got to tell you. Let me know. Do we need 6 centre-backs? Is Niko G ever going to be as good as Rodri? Get in the comments. Let me know. Subscribe. Hit that bell. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.